right. Well, I'll just do a quick intro. Thank you all for being here tonight. And I am so very grateful and honored to have MK here with us to share what she has learned about ideal weight as we age and just sharing some new research and some new insights with us. And I'm sure it will be, I know I've heard some of them, but it'll be nice to hear it all in a package and go from there. So you want to take it away from there, MK?
Thank you, Kathy. All right, so this is a tribute I haven't really ever made, and I might get a little teary. I am a 98% right brain individual, guys, and I've been tested many times for that. And Einstein was 99. I'm not saying I'm an Einstein. I'm just saying it's a very severe thing. It's a huge gift of creativity, and you have 2% of left brain, right? And what that means is somebody who is that kind of a brain is a starter, right? Not only are they not a finisher, they're not a continuer. Does that make sense? Because they keep starting things. So what did I just announce to the world? I'm starting the inner circle coaching, group. And I've been writing it for a while and it's coming together, right? But I know Roxy, by the way, Roxy posted something amazing. Kids made a TikTok about 8 to Great. So go to the 8 to Great Facebook page and check out that incredible, just today, they said, Miss Smith, we made it, without any rehearsal. It's so darling. But Roxy's doing school so great. And can we have a major woohoo for Kath doing Ideal Weight? Yes. Woohoo. I'm serious. I don't know if I'd still be around if it wasn't for Kathy, because she, it takes, as you know, Kath, it takes organizing and website and Facebook and yeah. So
Yep.
so grateful for all the lives you're changing and for who you are. And boy, I
Oh.
couldn't have picked two better people than you and Roxy. Wonderful, guys. Okay, so ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-do. The second thing I want to make sure we understand tonight is I'm going to share a whole bunch about health and what am I not?
A doctor.
I'm not a medical professional. So I'm just going to say that because we're recording tonight, in case anybody else ever gets a hold of this. I know you guys know that, but in the inner circle group, they have to sign a waiver understanding. What I am finding out is I'm a fanatic about research. I didn't realize that, but I love learning things so much. Of course, I can't learn it and not teach it. But so I think of me as the chief resource officer right now. And so what I've done is I've researched my own stuff and I learned so much that I said, Kathy, can I share this with the group? And I was so grateful she said yes. Out of tonight is not superbly organized. It's not wrap it with a bow. I just toss things in and I'm going to share them all with you. And I'll be done within the hour. But when you go shopping, how many outfits do you want to walk home with?
3.
At least one.
3. Well, one. I mean, I usually go to buy one thing. I need something for that dinner or something for that party or whatever, or new swimsuit. Yeah. And so if you can go shopping out of all the stuff I'm going to share tonight and walk away with one thing that fits, it's going to be a win-win for me. Okay. The other thing is you don't want to try and swallow this all or you'll get indigestion. So stop me if you have a question about one. Take notes because I'm not going to share notes because well, this is what I have, right? So I won't be sending out notes, but we're recording the call. You can listen to it again if you want to. There really will be a lot crammed in here. And again, feel free. You can always call me if you have questions about anything too. But we can just talk about your questions tonight. That'd probably be the best. So this is just going to be kind of a conversation between friends. I'm going to do some basic concepts and then I'm going to go through 20 what I call mini tips. Just real practical how my life has changed because I've never gone off ideal weight. Why the heck would I? Right? Since I was 59 and I'm 73 now, do that math. never wanted to, never needed to, COVID, no problem, da da da. So that's never changed. And yet my body was changing and some of my weight was going up. And then I read about 1 out of every 4 people in their 70s will have Alzheimer's by, 10 years from now. And I went, what? Except that I found out you can prevent Alzheimer's. So guess what? Guess what they say Alzheimer's is? What's the other phrase they use for it? Maybe you haven't heard. Type 3 diabetes. In other words, sugar, sugar, sugar. But if you watch a movie, and this might be the first thing you write down, called Memories for Life, it's a documentary. I don't remember if you have to pay $3.99 for it or not, but it's certainly worth it. It's by a Dr. Bredesen, Bredesen. He has 7 Bredesen tips, and one is nutrition, and one is movement, strength training, and one is sleep. Guess what we're going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about nutrition and sleep and movement, and we're going to talk about, again, a bigger picture for how it all moves forward. Because again, staying off sugar is great, but there's other things you can do to improve your health as you go. Any questions before we get started? Okay, and I'm going to ask, if there's anything helpful here, I do have a new YouTube channel, which is just MK Mueller. And I'm going to be putting a lot of these in segments. So I'll be doing like a, 5-10 minute segment on a lot of the stuff we're talking about coming up. I've done maybe 20 videos so far. But yeah, just to be a subscriber, then you'll get all that stuff. And of course, we have the newsletter. If you should have gotten one recently about sleep, if you didn't, email me at mk@8togreat and I'll sign you up for the newsletter. Okay, so let's talk about when you release fat, where does it go? I'd never heard this before. It turns into water and gas. Isn't that interesting? So guess what's really important if we want to be releasing fat? Breathing and drinking water, hydrating. Okay. So I'm going to invite everybody to consider a new something I do. Most of us do the water, but here's why hydrating is so important. Again, I never really understood this. Go to the ancient people. Where did they get their water? Where did they get most of their water? Was it they kept coming across a spring in the middle of the fields of Nebraska and Kansas and Omaha and Oklahoma? Oklahoma? No.
A windmill.
They got their water from food. Okay? So we are their ancestors. Wait, are we their ancestors? Are they our ancestors? Anyway, somebody's ancestors. And they're our ancestors. So our ancestors said, I'm thirsty, I need food. So now when we feel, when we're really dehydrated, we want food. So if we're drinking more water, we're going to have a lot less desire for food. Understand why that works? That was fascinating to me. I mean, I always knew that we were supposed to be drinking water, but I never really knew why. But the other thing you want to do is some deep breathing. Okay, so again.
You're leaving?
Yeah.
All right.
Oops.
See ya.
Not sure who's talking there. But anyway, so again, that inhale for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, just to do that 5 times in the morning, 5 times in the evening. Again, it's amazing how little we take deep breaths in a day. So let's just take a couple right now. Nice deep inhale for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. And release for 5 seconds. And one more. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Yeah. So what that's doing is it's clearing air that isn't normally cleared when we're going all day. Okay. Just a nice cleansing one. Okay. Deep belly breathing. Okay, I'm just going to share a couple of general concepts before I go into my mini tips. I saw a video last week that said sugar is the only food that makes you hungry. Wow, I didn't know that. Guess what? How much of our foods have sugars or artificial sugars in them, guys? Go ahead and guess. Yell it out.
80%.
A lot.
A lot, a lot, a lot. Okay. All right. So next thing I want to do is I want to just review a couple things. Because part of what I think health is going to be is some anger. Back in the day when the cigarette companies knew what cigarettes did, and they were still pushing cigarettes, right? Now, I'm not saying that sugar is listen to this one that I figured out today. How many kids with diabetes were there when I was growing up, or even overweight kids?
Oh.
I don't remember.
Not very many.
I don't remember any. Okay. Today it's 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 has diabetes. And that's K through 19, age 19. So something huge has changed. But you know what? We had Halloween. Isn't that interesting? So it wasn't just the sugar, it was all the other stuff involved, right? And so again, we're going to take a look at these. 75% of our calories come from 6 companies. We know what they are, right? Kellogg's and General Mills and Coke and, oh, I don't know, Kraft, I think it is, Nestle. I forget what the last one would be. But anyway, so they're making everything. What is their intention? What is their goal for the foods they're making? I really would love you guys to unmute yourselves, because I don't care that there's talking in the back. I'd love to hear your answers.
They wanted to keep buying more.
Right, because they want to make a profit. Okay, now if you want to make a profit on food, what do you have to do? Well, one of the things
that tastes good.
Yeah, you have to make it taste good. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. One of the things is that they've learned since I was in high school and grade school is shelf life. They want whatever it is to have a long shelf life. Guess what you have to add to foods?
Preservatives.
Yeah. Really, really non-food items, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing that they've done. The second one then was they lowered the amount of nutrition in them so we would stay hungry, right? The nutrition in a whole food, which is one thing, an egg, a tomato, an avocado, right? And then there's processed food, which we all eat. Processed food is just smoked salmon, right? I mean, that's just one level. Ultra processed is when you see those ingredients that we don't recognize. And that's the one that's the huge challenge. And then the third thing, whoever mentioned it, Nicole, oh, sorry, she's going to.
Here is your reminder.
Yes, she's saying, but yeah. So the next one is they add addictive substances, and what do they call it? The bliss point. They add enough salt and sugar in just the right combination that we literally can't eat just one. Okay, so I want us to get a little upset about that, right? It's not that we don't have willpower in this day and age, and back when I was in grade school, everybody had willpower. That's BS. It's not willpower that was the problem. It's all the stuff they're doing to food that's tricking our minds and our bodies, because the fourth thing is not about the body, it's about the mind. Look at what Coke associates itself with. Fun and friends and family. Okay? And they have made that connection so incredible. Yeah, I'd like to teach the world to sing. I'll never forget that commercial. It's like part of my psyche. It was part of my life before Coke made it their theme, but yeah, not good. So let's look at just a couple of examples. Why do you think Ozempic only fixes the problem for a month? They could have made Ozempic to be 6 months. Okay. By the way, how many people are still using it 5 months after they start?
Most.
One out of every 4 are still using it. Okay, which is what? 25%?
25%.
2 out of every 3 have stopped by the end of the year. And we know what happens when they stop, right? It all comes back. Okay, so last but not least, I came across a study that said, these are just some general concepts, and I'll get into my mini tips. Artificial sweeteners. Rats that consumed artificial sweeteners have been found to eat more food, right? And put on 14% more body fat in just 2 weeks. Get this, even if they eat the same amount of calories as the rats that had regularly sweetened foods. Is that crazy? What is that about? Okay, so last thing, I'm sorry, I do have one more thing. This I came across last week and I thought, oh, that is just huge. And I had to call my sister because I said, I need to talk about this. How many of us would like to be free to make our own decisions? Can I see those hands, please? Okay, it's big. What now? What is 8 to great? What's one of the main concepts of 8 to great?
Power pyramid.
Power pyramid.
Yep.
It's really about power. It's about taking our power back, right? And what did I do? I posted on Facebook today, claim your power. So guess what this guy's theory is, and he's written 5 books and he's amazing. Ed Edmenis or something I can check out, but they're all doctors in Harvard and all that good stuff. But he said, when we want to cheat on a diet, it's more about power than it is about food. And I went, whoa. So if you're on a program because somebody said you should, or some part of you said you should, right? What's going to happen the first time you're emotionally triggered?
Turn back to
Nobody's
food.
going to tell me. Where is that ice cream? Right? This is so true. I mean, it just struck me. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. Go ahead. Somebody want to say something? So he said that's why, and we've already said willpower is not the way, willpower has nothing to do with it. That's why willpower is the worst way to lose weight. No diet works because diets depend on willpower. You will constantly have an argument with your will and your won't, your will and won't. I will, I won't, I will, I won't, I will, I won't, I will, I won't. And because somebody have said you shouldn't, the first time you feel powerless, isn't that what it is? Everything at the bottom of the power pyramid is about feeling powerless. When you feel powerless, you're going to go, I'm going to get my power back. I'll show them. I'll eat this thing. As though it hurt them somehow. But we're showing people that we can do whatever we want and we don't have to do it as some other people tell us. So he says, willpower only works until an emotional disruption. So his next question is, let's go pre-ideal weight. Somebody rings the doorbell, says, hey, it's a good friend of yours. I know you love this kind of pizza, so I brought it over for you. You're hungry. It's end of a work day, and they bring in this hot steaming pizza that's your favorite. Could you not eat it? Pre-ideal weight days,
No.
could you not eat it?
Definitely not.
No.
Wouldn't want to upset them.
Right. And just incredible, incredible desire. So he said, if you can't not do it, how free are you?
Mm.
I thought that was really powerful. The whole thing is I want to be free, I want to be powerful. But wait a minute, if I can't say no to it easily, because again, right? COVID, it wasn't a willpower thing. I didn't want it. And I know, that was true for so many of us. We just didn't want it. It's not, it's beyond that. But again, I think part of why helping ourselves not to want things is educating ourselves and saying, wow, I'm gonna look at this from a new perspective. This really is my last but not least, is where does exercise fit in? And again, this is a quote because I watch a lot of podcasts and a lot of videos. It's kind of my thing now. And someone said, the reason Ideal Weight doesn't focus a lot on exercise is not a way to go from unhealthy to healthy. It's a way to go from healthy to healthier. But you have to be eating well first, right? But what's the phrase we use, Kathy? We can't outrun the fork, or yeah. There's just a lot of phrases that it's got to be. You've got to get the food stuff in order first. And I don't.
Here's your reminder.
These are reminding me about, this is reminding me to turn on my red light, which is something I do at night, which I'm going to talk about. Okay, so now how has my life changed since in the past 10 years? And this isn't just, most of you know I had a breast cancer diagnosis a year ago, and I had surgery at stage 1 and all good, and did some radiation, and anyway, I'm all good. But it stops you in your tracks, wait a minute, I'm doing everything right. I shouldn't have. So I had to do just lots of journaling. I did some counseling. But I also really looked at my food, and I got healthier. I mean, Ideal Weight talks about some things, but for example, we don't talk about how much protein to eat. And so I've upped my protein because I know now as I age, I need more protein. I'll talk about that in a minute. But just cleaner. I did, it's great that Ideal Weight doesn't talk about detoxing. And now I know what the dirty dozen is. And if you don't know, you're going to find out on this call. I just eat healthier, even than the Ideal Weight program. So again, if anything I share with you tonight is helpful, I'll be thrilled. All right. So ready for the 20 tips?
Yes.
Number 1, I eat 12-3. Anybody know what that means? It's a phrase
Connected to fasting.
Yeah.
It? Oh.
Yep. It's a phrase you'll come across. 12 means I go 12 hours without eating at night, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then I stop eating 3 hours before I go to bed. Okay. And the reason is you're going to be digesting for 8 hours. If you are trying to digest while you sleep, guess what you're not going to do very well? A little louder.
Sleep.
Okay. So that's one reason. There's another reason called autophagy, which is, this is not controversial at all. It won the Nobel Peace Prize or Nobel Prize for whatever in 2016. This is like, this guy found out, and he said, after your cells are done digesting, they sit around and go, or maybe they're called lysosomes. I mean, whatever's moving at that point. And they're going, I'm bored. What can I do? So they go clean up. Guess what they clean up? Cancer cells, fat, aging, wrinkles. They go around, and anything that's not optimal, anything that's not as good as it was when you were 20, autophagy means devour. They devour the problems in your life, the problems in your body. I'm sorry. So recently, I just happened to come across this thing that said, oh, by the way, those who've had breast cancer, if you go 13.5 hours instead of 12, your chances of it returning are 36% lower.
Wow.
Do you think I'm going to eat sooner, my
Nope.
dinner sooner? Do you think that? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to say going 13.5 hours without food is easy. It's not. 12 hours wasn't easy, though. When I first started, I went from, having my night snack because it'll help me sleep. Oh, BS. Anyway, from night to having 8 hours and then 9 hours, it took me a while to get to 12. But pretty soon, finishing dinner at 6 and eating breakfast at 6 in the morning. Are you kidding me?
Here is your reminder.
It's telling me
Clean up your
something.
notes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So one more time.
Here is your reminder.
So 6 to 6 is not a biggie, is it, guys?
Mm-mm.
Will you be hungry for a little while or from time to time? Yes. Do you know why hunger isn't a problem? It used to mean, uh-oh, we're hungry, we're dying, we're starving. Again, that's our ancient brain. That's our ancestor brain. No, hunger for me says, ooh, I'm probably moving into autophagy.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the best version of autophagy does not happen until 16 hours. And then another version at 24 hours. And so I have done a couple 24-hour fasts. And, I can talk you through anybody who wants to talk through that. It's an interesting thing. And by the way, you're not hungry. You're not hungry. You're bored. And I don't.
MK,
Yes.
one phrase I heard when we were talking about that, about fasting, was hunger comes in waves. And it kind of made me think about what we say about emotions. They come and we feel them and we let them go. And that's kind of how I thought about it when I was doing some of those longer fasts.
Absolutely. I find that when I have a little bit of hunger at a night thing, I think, okay, is it boredom? Is it thirst? Right? Because again, if I can get through that 5-10 minutes, right? And I was watching the World Series because they really wanted the Mariners. And did anybody watch the 18-inning game last night? 18. Did you, Roberta? Oh my gosh. But anyway, and so it was so emotional that I associate that with eating, right? So I really had to talk myself down from that one, go, okay, you're just eating, you're hungry out of memory for here. So, but anyway, so it really helps. It really, really helps, guys. 3 hours before you go to bed and then 12 hours. So if you want to do more, there's all sorts of good things about that too. Oh, and by the way, you don't want to exercise fasted. Mindy somebody who writes a whole bunch of books like Fast Like a Girl doesn't talk about this. But again, I don't just do research with one person. I always am. Anything you're hearing from me tonight, I've researched 5 different ways. So 5 people have already had to say it for me to be sharing it with you. And the new thing now is men don't have to eat before they exercise. Women do. Okay? It'll eat away at your muscle if you don't. So 15 to 20 grams of protein at your breakfast. That's a lot. Because an egg only has 6. But anyway, so you want 15 to 20 grams of protein in your breakfast before, if you're going to exercise. And I play pickleball in the morning, so it's important for me to eat breakfast. Okay, I'm just going to give you a couple of meals that I'm eating now with more protein. So one of my new breakfasts that I've never tried before is cottage cheese, tomatoes, and avocados. And I'm just addicted. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so fresh. It takes seconds to put together. I can peel an avocado in 10 seconds or less. Sometimes, I mean, I try and do not too much dairy, so I'll do a turkey patty instead. I'll pre-cook my turkey patties and have them all ready to go, stick them in the microwave and have my tomatoes and avocados. That's great. And then I have a fluffy bread thing. Kathy, didn't I give you that recipe at some point? Don't worry, I'm going to send it.
Is that like a cloud bread? Is that out of cottage cheese?
No.
Okay.
This has a lot of great things in it.
Okay.
Flaxseed and a lot of great things. 6 eggs. I mean, but it's if you just really want a little something with that texture, I find it nice. So what I do with that is for my eggs, I'll take my two or 3 eggs, or sometimes I'll do 2 eggs and an egg white because I still get the protein. And I'll dip the bread in it, and it's kind of French toasty. And then I'll put a whole bunch of cinnamon on it because cinnamon is a superfood. Oh my gosh. And then guess what I'll put on top of that? Blueberries. And guess what I'll put on top of that? Cocoa June, which is a coconut prebiotic. It's like coconut yogurt. It's made out of coconut. And now it comes with 10 grams of protein.
MK, here's your reminder.
Just taking, I can't handle her. I don't know how many she's got here. So somebody stop me at 9:30. Okay, so does that make sense?
Mhm.
Cocoa Junior I can only find at Sprouts and somebody else. Sometimes Target has it. But anyway, so again, but if you like regular yogurt, I mean, you can put anything on it. I'm just saying those are great ways to get my protein in. Now, I'm also going to share with you a Nugo bar. Anybody familiar with NUGO bars?
Mm.
You know, I was so big on Kind bars when I was teaching, you know, that class for so many years. And they're okay. You're going to get 3 grams for 90 calories and 3 grams of fat, of sugar, right? You guys know this, yes? Okay.
Mhm.
For that same amount of sugar and calories, you're going to get 8 grams of protein on a Nugo bar. And because protein is so important to me, when I'm looking like I'm going to be low on protein at any different meal, I'll just do half a bar. The big ones are 6, you know, it's this big a bar, and it's 16 grams, and I get the peanut butter chocolate. It is, I'm not going to say to die for. It's phenomenal. Very crunchy, and that's what I have to have crunch. And it's just really good. So check out Nugo bars, and they're not that they're really not that expensive because you buy them packs of 24, and might be a little more expensive than Kind bars, but not that much. And I still from time to time will eat a Kind bar. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not going to give me the bang for my buck that I'm looking for. Comments about any of that? I do keep frozen blueberries in my refrigerator at all times because regular blueberries were just going to go bad. You know,
Mhm.
I want blueberries. I literally every day I have avocado, every day I have blueberries. That's the other thing. And every day I have cinnamon. It's just those are 3 like whew, so important. Okay, I don't know what number we're on now. I did move off of Trident gum because of aspartame. And there's something called Simply Gum that just is Simply Gum. And I find it just as good. I just sometimes, I don't know, that 2 minutes of chewing gum after a meal just helps me. So if that's interesting. Now, coffee, I've done research on coffee. Is coffee good for you guys? Is it good for us?
Depends on how you have it,
It's
I
good for
think.
me, yes.
It's really good for, no, the coffee
Okay, good.
itself is really,
Yeah.
really good for us. Isn't that fun? It's a superfood.
Okay, I'm super then.
Yeah. I said, don't ask me to give him my coffee, please. Now, always, in order to get my 8 glasses of water in, I have to have water before everything. I have to have a glass of water before a meal. I have to have a glass of water before my first cup of coffee. And so in the morning, if I'm not exercising, let's say, and I'm going to extend my fast a little, let's say I'm not going to eat breakfast until 10. Okay, so that's going to be a long fast. I have coffee with MCT oil. And MCT oil powder tastes creamy. It's phenomenal. And it has really good things in it. And it actually increases autophagy. It's one of the very few foods you can eat that doesn't, if you start eating, autophagy stops. But MCT oil it's not true for that. So I love, on my longer fasting mornings, I have coffee with MCT oil. Okay. Okay. And then at night I do red light therapy. I just have a little thing that's about this big. I probably paid, I don't know, $60, $70 for it. and I just put it on and I put it on my face. If you go to Planet Fitness, anybody have a Planet Fitness near yourself? You do the, I think it's called the Black membership, which is, I don't know, $20 a month, not that much. And you get massage chairs that are like phenomenal. And you get, the vibrator plates. You heard about those? Really good for you. Well, you can do the vibrator plate at the same time you're doing red light. So red light's giving, okay, what's red light good for? A million things. You can Google it, but it's good for hair growth and fewer wrinkles. We'll start with those. So while you're doing the vibrator plate, which is strengthening your muscles, you're also getting this red light, and you just do it for 12 minutes, and it's comes with the membership. So anyway, so I do that. And red light therapy is nice because you can do it in the morning when you wake up, you can do it at night. But once you start researching health, like I've been for the last couple years, guys, it's ridiculously popular. It's found to be so good for so many people. Like it'll heal a wound.
Mm-hmm.
You have a wound, it'll help you heal. Julie, do you use red light?
Yes, I have a belt and I use it for inflammation. It's
Nice.
pain. It's been lovely. Yeah.
It is. It's
But I haven't
amazing.
used it for my hair or my face. So new
That's okay.
opportunity.
Yeah, you'll see sometimes they have, it's a mask that
mask.
looks kind of scary. Yeah, I don't use that. But I did buy one. It just gave me kind of claustrophobia, so I returned it. But that's what you could do. You could just go on Amazon, get one and see if it worked for you. But you don't even need glasses with it. It's not harmful. It's just not harmful. I'm sorry, you don't even have to close your eyes is what I meant. I do close my eyes when I'm using red light, but you don't have to. Okay, here's another little thing. I'm taking more supplements, but I'm just going to talk about a couple. Magnesium citrate helps with regularity. I don't know if you know that, but again, regularity can be an issue as you age. So I take 350, I think it is, grams of magnesium citrate during the day. And that's helped. Sometimes I'll still need psyllium husk, if you know what that is. I just put a couple teaspoons in water and mix it up with my frother. By the way, if you get the MCT in your coffee, you're going to need a frother because it doesn't stir well. You need to buy one of those little frother things. But anyway, and then at night I have magnesium glycinate. There's like 6 kinds of magnesium. But magnesium glycinate really helps with sleep. It's better than melatonin. You want to watch melatonin. It's not a problem if you use it every so once in a while, but if you're using it a lot, guess what your body stops making?
Melatonin.
Melatonin. Right. You don't want to do that. So you want to keep it lowest dose, which I think is 3.3. I don't know. There's a 3 in there. But anyway, the lowest possible dose. And again, not very often. It's not a problem if you use it every so often, but you really don't want to overly use that one. Yeah, I don't know about any other things I'm taking right now. I take an omega-3 and some vitamin C and, kind of the basics. I've moved away from plastics. The microplastics thing is pretty big, so I don't drink I'm a big Perrier person. I don't drink it out of plastic bottles anymore. And the glass bottles were so heavy to bring home from the store, so I now get cans. And there's a bunch of places I can get it, so that's helpful. Okay, next 5 things I'm going to talk about are about sleep. And did you guys get the little sleep quiz in my last newsletter?
Yes.
Again,
Yes.
Email me if you didn't. Just mk@8toGreat, or you can ask Kathy and she'll show you how to sign up for the newsletter. But anyway, so some of this was in there. So you get up and you get up and you go to bed at basically the same time every day, as close as possible. Your body wants to get in that rhythm, right? Secondly, I've never told anybody this. I just found it the other day. You add something to your computer screen. So you can type in f.lux, flux, but it's f.lux, and it's free. And you go in, and I did a whole bunch of checks to make sure this wasn't scammy, wasn't going to give me a virus. And again, did lots of research. No problem. And so if you're on the computer after dark, which I think we all are tonight, here's the website, www.justgetflux.com. www.justgetflux.com. And it's going to turn down the screen. It's going to shift the lights down to blue light. Again, I'm putting on glasses tonight for that reason with blue light. This is taking out a lot of the blue light that keeps you awake. Another thing that I do, by the way, an hour before I go to bed is I dim all the lights. So I have a lot of dimmers in my home. And if I'm in a room, I'm just going to dim the lights for that last hour. It's just helping me sleep better because I am sleeping better now. But there was a time when I really wasn't sleeping better. Another thing I found is Alexa. I don't know if anybody has Alexa. I'll say play nature sounds. Now, the reason this is big for me is because I grew up with crickets. You know, I'm an Iowa girl. And it's just a sweet little cricket. It feels like, you know, I think there's a stream in the back, but it's real quiet. I'd say, you know, volume level 3. And the other thing I love about Alexa is I can say, turn off after 30 minutes or turn off after 15 minutes. And that way she won't go all night. I just bought a lamp that goes off after a certain amount of time. Does anybody have that problem that you go to sleep and the lamp's still on? Well, then good for you. I was reading books and I'd wake up at midnight and the light would still be on. So this new lamp I have turns off after, again, whatever time I tell it, 15 or 30 minutes. If you're taking naps during the day, this is older now, you really want to keep to 15 to 20 minutes. Having an hour nap is gonna, you know, wreak havoc at night. And then in the morning I get sun exposure. And this is what they're saying again. This is helping your body go, oh, it's time to wake up. Well, you know, look at what's going to happen to us in a week. Sun exposure is going to happen at a completely different time. So as long as you can get 5 to 10 minutes of a little bit of sun in the morning. And what I'll do is if I have a phone call to make, I'll walk out, you know, and do a walk around my block with the phone in my hand when it's sunny. You know, there's a lot of ways to do it, but you want to get that sun. If you have a beautiful porch that faces the sun, I don't, then, you know, mine faces the other way. But that's another fun option, you know, just get that sun. Another thing I'm doing with toxins is I stopped wearing shoes in my home. It's just one of those tracking in toxins from the outside. I also stopped using Teflon pans. I use either stainless steel or I use cast iron. I stopped using plastic spatulas. Just been shown. Guess what? Have you ever seen a plastic spatula, you know, with little pieces that can't come off of it? Guess where that plastic went? So you want to stick to wood or metal. And I buy organic for the Dirty Dozen. So the Dirty Dozen, you can just Google, and I'm not going to show it to you now, but Google it because it changes every year. And that's what foods are the worst for pesticides that you really don't want to eat unless it's organic. I'm pretty sure blueberries is on the list, but not positive. But a whole bunch of stuff I don't eat is on it. I don't remember all the, anyway, you'll see. You'll see, like apples is on it sometimes, and sometimes it's not. It's never going to be something like oranges because you don't eat the peel. But yeah, just check for the Dirty Dozen. And then I open my windows. This is still toxins now. I open my windows for an hour a day most days, unless it's really, really, really hot out. But again, there's a lot of toxins in the house. Guess what causes toxins in the house, guys?
Mites.
Yes.
Air fresheners and
Yeah, you really want to stop using air fresheners if at all possible. The spray kind, use essential oils. Yeah, go for it. But the spray, oof, yeah. Not good.
MK, have you heard anything about, you know, the waxes that were so popular at one point in time where you can put like on a little warmer and then the wax melts and
Oh, I haven't.
have you
I
heard
haven't.
anything about those? I was
Mm-mm.
wondering about those the other day.
Yeah, in general, scent isn't the best.
Yeah.
No, it's not terrible, but one of the podcasts I watch a lot of, guys, is called Diary of a CEO. and he just had Michael Bublé on. He had Jimmy Fallon on a month ago. But he doesn't just have stars, he has the best of everything. He had that Mindy person to talk about fasting. He had, you know, it literally has the best experts. Dr. Hyman, who's basically is how I wrote Ideal Weight, was Dr. Mark Hyman. He's had him on twice. So if he's on, if somebody's on Diary of a CEO, I know that they're an expert because he vetted them really well. And he only gets people who are the best, like Mel Robbins. Yeah. Mel Robbins is another great host who has people who are, you know, really know what they're talking about. Okay, that's that. We're almost done. Almost done. Okay. I switched to wild caught Alaska sockeye salmon instead of what's the opposite one? Farmed salmon, I guess. And I don't remember all the reasons. I think it's just because wild salmon eat a variety of foods and they're just so much healthier for you, but it might also be, I don't remember all the, I'm sorry guys, I don't remember all the reasons. I just know that wild caught salmon is much better for you. And guess where you can get it? Costco has it in edible packets. And you get like 12 packets and it's already frozen into little pieces, which I love. So again, wild caught Alaska sockeye salmon. It's important that it has the word Alaska in there. Another thing I moved to is pasture raised eggs. A little better than cage free, a little better than whatever the other one, free range is. Again, because the pasture raised is just having a lot of different things in its gullet. And I also use avocado oil instead of EV olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil doesn't cook well. I don't know if you knew that. You don't want to get that one very hot. Avocado oil, you can get as hot as you want. Makes sense? And it doesn't taste any different at all. Now, I still, of course, use olive oil on salads and a whole bunch of other places. It's really good for us. But for cooking, I only use avocado oil. Okay, I already told you about the Nugo bars. 8 grams of protein. Yep. Okay, next one. Oh no, I already talked about that. Oh, this is this is just a phrase I came up with today. It's like as I was typing. Sometimes we say, "Oh, well, I have to eat the rest of this because I don't want to waste it." And I said, if you don't waste it, you'll waste it. Okay?
True.
Because anytime you eat past your fullness is not a good thing, right? And so even with protein, I have to really watch myself and say, oh, I need more protein. I go, I'm sorry, I'm full. The biggest problem I have with how I'm eating now is it's hard to get it all in. Never, never, never hungry. Okay, here's yeah, a couple last ones. So guess what researchers have found about movement? The most important time to move is 10 minutes after the meal, for 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes after the meal, for the duration of 10 minutes. Now, again, whether you go to Glucose Goddess, where do you go? I mean, there's a million people that are teaching this. I'm going to teach you the basics of why. If you have that food and you're not going to use it up in energy, guess what it's going to turn into? Yeah. So just that 10 minutes. So my question is, does that mean I'm going to run to the gym for 10 minutes every day? Absolutely not 3 times a day. So I'm going to play a game with us. I have 10 things I do during that 10 minutes and I vary it. So what might you do after a meal that would just keep you standing? Hint.
Stretching. Oh, sorry.
What now? Stretching, did you say, Julie?
Sorry. I got to get to a different room. Sorry about that.
That's okay, hon.
Oh, just when you were saying like just standing, I'm like just stretching.
Stretching, absolutely. Okay. And for me, I like my movement to have a reason. So what about vacuuming?
Mhm.
What about laundry and unloading the dishwasher? You're on your feet, right? Absolutely. Could you take a walk around the block? Absolutely. You could wash your car. You could, you know what I mean? Are you with me? But
Mhm.
one of the things I
Yeah.
do a lot of is I do my errands after meals. So I knew I needed to go to the library tonight. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to the library and then I'm going to eat. And I go, no, 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 no. We're going to eat first. And so again, early meal, ate first. Then what am I doing for 10 minutes in the library? Walking around, right?
Mhm.
If I have something I need at the store, I don't get 10 things. Remember, I'm single. I don't get 10 things at a store. I'll get 2 or 3 because I want there to be something that I'm going to need tomorrow so that after dinner, I'm going to go to Aldi's and I'm going to get tomatoes, or I'm going to go to Detweiler's and I'm going to get avocados. Now, don't say I'm wasting gas. I live 3 minutes from all these places. I live in a small town. I love Venice, Florida. I love it. I love it. So, it's just, but it's going to get me up. So again, am I sitting in the car for those 3 minutes? Yes, but then I'm standing, doing whatever I'm doing, and then get. So anything you can do to keep from, and this is what I used to do. After dinner, I'd sit and watch TV or sit and read a book. Another thing I did was I joined a line dancing class.
Oh,
Starts at
fun.
5:30. I'm done eating. I'm going to go line dance for an hour. Another thing I did was I joined a choir that, again, on a certain, not every month, but at certain times of the year, they'll have, what is it? Wednesday night rehearsal, I guess. And so again, up, standing, doing the singing. So, when you say, oh, I have to go a card for their birthday, the other thing you want to do is you want to park a long ways away, unless it's dark out.
Mhm.
Let's be safe, guys. Right? But you want to, that's going to give you your 10 minutes. Go to Walmart, park way at the other end, walk, go and get your thing. And right? So any comments, questions about that? I said I was going to play the game and I didn't. I just talked. I'm sorry. But you get the idea. Okay, exercises for seniors. There, I'm going to send this link to Kathy too. There's 5 exercises that is strength training important? Yes. And nobody taught me this really until the last year. I did not know this. I thought the fact that I was playing pickleball 4 times a week and going to yoga 2 times a week and, oh, I'm doing great. Nope. Nope. I was not doing strength training. So one of the things I was talking with somebody about today is one of the things I do is I do heel raises. Now, what's a heel raise? Right? You get up on your toes. You hold for 4 or 5 seconds. Come down. Okay, that's it. 12 to 15 times. I mean, you can start with just doing it 5 times, right? Now, why would that be so helpful? I'm so glad you asked. Guess what the brain needs to function, guys?
Blood.
Blood. And if you're not squeezing those legs on a regular basis, the blood isn't getting all the way up to your brain like it needs to. You're preventing Alzheimer's. And this again, Bredesen's big on this, that Memories for Life guy. He's big on strength training. When he says exercise is one of his 7, he's not talking about pickleball. He's talking about strength training. So that's one of them. Another one is leaning against a wall and doing what?
Bishop. Mhm.
So at pickleball, we play a game and then we wait out a game and then we play a game. That's how many of us there are. So when I'm not playing, I'm going to play every other day. So this is perfect because, by the way, you only need to strength train every other day. I'll go up to a pole and I'll just do that while I'm waiting. How simple is that?
Mhm.
Now here's one that we can all do. Stick out, we're all sitting down, right? Stick out one of your legs and just hold it up. Just hold it up. And you know what it's going to start doing? Talking to you. Okay? So just that, just going back and forth on that one. I'm not going to teach you the others because they're harder to explain, but just alternate, which is another thing I'll do while I'm waiting for pickleball. It's just lifting those up. So simple examples. Another thing that I have is I have a ball, not sure where it is right now, but this is huge. In fact, they say they can tell how old your body is by your grip. Look at you, Julie. Good job. Yes.
And also,
Yes.
and also this way.
Oh, is
Oh,
that
the
a
rubber
rubber band?
band.
It's yeah, rubber band, a hair tie.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, so having your grip, being able, sorry, physical therapy just is teaching me this in terms of
This is too long, but I get it. I get it. Yeah. That's fun. This, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. I can feel that.
Hmm.
Well, I know now when I pick up a really heavy pitcher, guess what? It's heavy. I mean, we have to work to keep our bodies strong, guys, as we age. And so I'm really encouraging you not to wait to 73 and get working on this stuff. Okay, I think I'm done.
Yeah,
How
right
many
on the
questions?
nose.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's good. So what I'd like to end with, if you don't mind, is one thing that you're taking away from tonight.
Oh. I think for me, one thing I learned was like the olive oil, not cooking that at a high heat. I use olive oil a lot on the, and I never realized that you were not supposed to cook that at a higher heat type of a thing. So I never knew that.
Yay. Thanks, Nicole.
Mine is the 10 minutes after eating.
Mhm.
So 10 minutes, what was it? What did you said again? You said
Within 10 minutes.
wait, like
Yeah.
eat, wait 10 minutes and then exercise
And
for 10 minutes.
I apologize. That's not true. You don't have to
Oh.
wait the 10 minutes. You have to do it within 10 minutes.
Within 10
In other
minutes.
words, if after you have a meal, you're having a cup of coffee or you're sitting there for 5 minutes with a friend, no problem. But within 10 minutes of your finishing eating, get up and move.
Gotcha.
Within 10. I'm so glad I clarified that, Julie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being on tonight.
I would say mine is the deep breathing.
Mm. Mhm.
And I know that, but do I do it? It's
Yeah.
just, and that's just a reminder. It's so many things that that you shared that I've heard, but
Yeah.
incorporating them on a consistent, regular basis.
Yeah. That waking up to it and going to sleep to it, and it's amazing. It relaxes you at night.
Mhm.
It's that simple centering, because you can't be doing that and thinking about, errands you got to run tomorrow. So yeah. Awesome, Kathy. Thank you.
I
Mine
liked
would
that one
be
too.
the 15 to 20 grams of protein in breakfast before you exercise.
Great, Christy.
Mhm.
Yep. And yeah, eh, lots of good sources of protein. Lots of good sources. I'm just trying to think of some of the other ones, but the cheeses and the meats, and eggs and leftovers from last night's dinner sometimes, right? Anything else come to mind for anybody? Great protein source.
Protein. No, we
Yeah.
kind of talked about cottage cheese and yogurt, if you can do
Mhm.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
now that they know that protein's a big priority, a lot of the health food companies are adding it.
Mhm.
So they're saying this with protein. So be watching for that, because that's gonna come out in the next 12 months. Thank you, Kath.
It's the plain Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Oh, do
Mhm.
I don't like Greek yogurt. And I really always want to tell people to eat whatever they like. That's why I went to cocoa yogurt. So it's
Okay.
Cocoa June. But no, Greek yogurt's really good for you. And I tried to make myself like it.
I can't eat it by itself, but I can do it with like a frozen mixed berry
Nice.
and make it in a smoothie.
Nice. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I love it with a shaving of a lemon, this lemon shavings or orange shavings,
That does sound
that
good.
something that
Okay.
kind of changes it up. And
Yeah,
then
I might try that with
other
Cocoa
things, you can
June.
put quinoa with it. I had a part.
Okay.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Thanks, guys. Cool.
I think my takeaway is the blue light. I've heard about that, but I don't do a lot with it, and I do a lot of classes in the evening after dark. So
Yeah, that flux is helpful.
yeah.
Thank you. I think on Kindle you can make it dark. I think on phones you can do that too. Do you guys know that? There's a dark setting you can set your phone to that'll just click on at a certain time of night.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's good. Thank you.
I'm
Anybody else?
gonna look into the MTC oil.
MCT, huh? Yeah.
MCT, yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't remember what it stands for, but it's a powder. I get a white, it's organic powder. Again, email me if you want me a picture of it. But boy, I just love how it tastes in coffee. And here's one of the things I've figured out, guys. You can teach yourself to like anything. Now, of course, I just told you I don't like Greek yogurt, but you really can teach yourself to eat almost anything. We taught ourselves to drink Tab. Does anybody remember that terrible thing called Tab? We taught ourselves to go from whole milk to skim milk.
Mm-hmm.
Skim milk tastes awful. But we said, oh no, it's really good. So I, with the MCT, it probably took me a week, and now it's like, oh my gosh, I love it. I can't wait for a long fast day because I'm not going to drink it most days. I'm going to put coconut milk in my coffee, but on my longer fasting days, I say, yeah, let's go for MCT. Have fun.
I think I'm gonna, I've been hearing about this fasting, hearing about it. I think that's probably my takeaway.
Awesome, hun.
And the 3 hours before bed,
Mm.
that's a good thing too. Because like I recently, I've been on antibiotics for a whole year. When I take my antibiotics, I need to eat something, but that's not to say I couldn't take my antibiotics when I eat.
Mm.
Earlier, yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. I look over the list and there's several things that caught my eye, but I think that's the thing I need to start trying.
Yeah. And again, dear one, be patient with yourself. It might be 2 hours one time, it does get easier. And pretty soon it's just not something you think about.
Yeah.
And so when people have late dinner parties, I say, I'll come when you're done eating because I don't eat at 8 o'clock. And, God bless. I still hang out with friends. Of course, in Venice, everybody goes to bed by 9, but it's the third oldest city in the country. Isn't that funny? But we're a very healthy really very, very healthy group because most people do 2 sports, just to give you an example. Yeah, but no, we get to bed early. So yeah, Robert, I think it'll be awesome as you just play with that and see what works. Super. I think we got everybody. Yes.
I
we
took
did.
away maybe stop wearing shoes in the home. I can just switch that up to
An easy
I
thing,
hadn't
isn't it?
thought about that. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't usually wear them, but I can be even more conscious of making
I always thought people asked me to take off my shoes because of their floors being
Yeah,
damaged.
yeah.
And then I found out, no, this is cultures across the world do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it's because there's outdoor
outdoor things coming.
toxins. Yeah, there's pesticides in the grass or whatever, so.
And also, I'm gonna look into wood or metal spatulas instead of plastic.
Mm,
Mhm.
Yeah.
super, hun. Super.
I want to just chime in on the no shoes in the house. We recently traveled where I knew we were going to be doing a lot of walking, and I checked out several different brands, and I found this brand of barefoot walking shoe that I ordered for us, and I got an extra pair simply just to wear in my house because I don't like to go barefoot, and I don't want to, but they are amazing, and the brand is Hike, Hike, and it's all over Facebook right now. But both Mark and I got Mark a pair too, and I tallied up today. We just got home yesterday. In the last 2 weeks, we walked about 40 miles between excursions and being on a cruise ship and I honestly have to say that before we traveled, I was having some pain in my hip, and I think it was because in retrospect, I think it was because I wasn't moving enough and I was sitting too much in the chair. Within 2 days of being on this trip and wearing these shoes all the time, my pain was gone.
So
Gone. And that's what one of the things they talk about is it gives you better alignment because and Mark said the same thing. He said, I love these shoes. They're so flexible. They're lightweight, and they were perfect. And we both wore them for 2 weeks straight. And so if anybody's interested in that, check out that brand.
I'm doing it. Barefoot shoes.
Barefoot shoes. But the brand is Hike. I can, I've got a card right over there. Yeah, but they're barefoot shoes. They're a walking shoe, but it's a barefoot walking is kind of, I think.
That's got to be so good for you. Yeah. Probably better than these in my house.
I've done that too.
But I have on now.
Yeah. And I've got the extra pair that I got that I put on after we got back home. And
Perfect.
because I did lots of
And
laundry today.
where'd you go, Kat?
Oh, MK, it was a dream realized.
I'm ready.
We went to Greece.
I was going to say Greece. Yeah.
That's, but the cool thing is that we went with a group that was led by the Bishop of Colorado Springs, who is a family friend. And there were 70 of us that went on a pilgrimage following the footsteps of St. Paul.
I was going to say, oh.
And it was phenomenal. So 3 days in Athens and then a 9-day cruise to the different sites. Phenomenal. Amazing group of people that we just connected instantly. I mean, everybody, it was everything and more than I could have imagined.
Like attracts like.
Yeah. My sister, Mark's sister, went with us, was part of this group too. And she said today, when everybody was commenting how wonderful it was, she said, are you sure people weren't screened for this trip? Because everybody got along and everybody had so much fun. So it was phenomenal. And it really was a vision realized, a dream realized. So
fantastic. Well, again, thank you, Kathy, for hosting this and for continuing to carry the torch and spread the message and plant the seeds. Oh, I'll just end with this. There's a guy that, we do trainings every month. We start a new certification training. So we're starting one November 3rd, which I guess is maybe a week from yesterday. And this guy's in it who heard me 15 years ago. And he said, changed my life 15 years ago. And I've always said I wanted to go deeper, and now's the time. So Kathy, the seeds you're planting now, right, will continue to not just grow trees, but grow orchards of healthy, happy lives. Yep. Should we have a woohoo for Kathy?
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Thank you, sweetie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I appreciate your time, and we will we'll figure out how, if we're just going to post this or what, but please comment, share your thoughts on the Lifesavers page so that those that weren't able to be here tonight can gather some information and hear that as well. So, thank you. We will see you all later.
Thank you.